always an attempt by partisans to claim that the two parties are so irreconcilably different. On a few issues, they are, but on so many of the most consequential, they're identical. On Ukraine and Israel, Biden and Hillary agree 100% with Lindsey Graham and Nikki Haley. Glenn Greenwald is referencing this video where Hillary Clinton is answering or either responding to a question or a comment about having a ceasefire to prevent all the deaths of kids. So this is what she's answering here.
People who are calling for a ceasefire now do not understand Hamas. That is not possible. It would be such a gift to Hamas because they would spend whatever time there was a ceasefire in effect rebuilding their armaments, creating stronger positions to be able to fend off an eventual assault by the Israelis. People who
Now, Hillary Clinton is sort of known for this last year. How many times have all of us covered where she just kind of has a snippet like this, where she just kind of goes off the rails with her warmongering? And for a person like Bernie Sanders in his golden years to be afraid of getting the Ralph Nader treatment, the people on the warmongering side, they have no qualms with going to their graves being a very staunch warmonger, and that is Hillary Clinton. Let's start with Kit, and then we'll go to Keaton and then Russell. But what say you, Kit? What was your reaction about this this latest warmongering ghoul take from Hillary Clinton?
We should not be surprised by these takes from Hillary Clinton, as she has had a shield wall by corporate media and the Democratic establishment that has allowed her the privilege to talk this way and not get any kind of pushback from anyone across the political spectrum, including the various generations, because the corporate media and the political system made it acceptable for her to talk like this. Only now are we seeing people be very critical of her and call her out because, my goodness, how long has this been happening under decades under Democratic and, yes, Republican establishment rule? So people are upset by this, but Hillary Clinton is unapologetic because she has lived through the decades of saying this stuff, and no one's saying, my goodness, are you a bloodthirsty monster? And so, again, at the end of the day, I have to give a huge congratulations to the two heroic activists that I interviewed on my show that actually called her out, and then also to, I believe, Alex Rosen, who also just called her out for her husband's behavior with a guy first name Jeffrey, last name E, in regards to that. So, look, call out these politicians, but no one should be surprised because she has been protected for so long, and the media said it's acceptable to talk this way because a quote-unquote journalists would never call her out on it. Don't expect that from CNN or MSNBC.
Russell, go ahead, sir.
She's like Henry Kissinger, but an idiot. Like Henry Kissinger is evil, but he's smart. It's like she's trying to do a Kissinger impersonation, and she's just not astute enough to do it. A lot of Hillary stands during the dark days of 2016. Very often, and this is one thing I have to concede, they would say, well, Bernie can talk that way. He's a white man. A woman can't get away with that. There's some truth to that, because if you look at people who are not traditional, straight white men in politics, they will only let the worst of them get to this level. They'll never let anyone who's any good get to where she is. She got where she is because she's a horrible monster, right? She doesn't in any way challenge power. If you want to say Hillary Clinton, who she is a critique of the system that created her, yeah, probably. Doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't be listening to her about how to do an oil change, much less how to handle international geopolitics.
And
what I
last
got,
but not
man.
least, I think
Everyone expects me to do 10 minutes.
No, it wasn't. I was just waiting for Keaton. Go ahead, Keaton.
Yeah, well, fun fact about her nickname in college was the Iron Dome. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's what they used to call her.
What?
No, I
Get
did
out
not
of
know
here.
that.
Get out of here. Stop lying. You get out of here.
No, I mean it is amazing. The thing that's amazing about her is just how consistently wrong she is. Like most politicians, as bad as they are, every once in a while they'll say something where like, all right, you're a piece of shit, but I'll give you credit for this one. Her, never. She's just reliably wrong every single time. Every time. Yeah. And, it's just always in service of the war machine, and her supporters would very often fall back on the fact, well, she is a woman, she has to be pro-war or else they're going to say she's weak. All right, well, I mean, what kind of idiotic logic is that? What you're basically saying is that we can't trust women in power because every woman who rises to power is going to feel obligated to be a warmonger, or else they're going to be perceived to be weak. So, I mean, it's
a terrible
ludicrous
argument to make if you want more women in office.
Right. If you want more representation for women in power, maybe don't lead with, well, they have to be warmongers or else they're going to be mocked out of the room. Well, that's a good reason why you should never elect a woman, right?
Right. and hey, I mean, Barbara Lee puts the lie to that. She took a very unpopular stand at a time when it was hard to take. She's still in Congress. Now they won't let her go any. They won't let her go any further than that. That much is true.
That's a whole different. That is a whole different point. It's a lie that because you're a woman you have to be a warmonger. That's just their excuse. But what I'm saying is their excuse doesn't even make sense on its own terms.
Right. Well, it's a terrible argument if you want women to be elected. Like, that's a terrible argument for any identity. I mean, I've heard that in other contexts. Well, they have to be this way. I heard people say that about Obama. Well, Obama has to be this way because he's a black president. I mean, do you really want to make that case?